Hey guys, Kevin Cage back with another cryptocurrency update. Welcome to the channel. Like and subscribe if you're serious about investing in the digital asset space. And let's get right into it today. One take and uncut. Wanted to get a video out today. I know that many people and their sentiment is low as we are seeing the market taking, a little dump here. Essentially, please pay attention to the entire video for this one. I want to tie into some points. I have a bunch of information. I'll be scatterbrained. Sorry if I'm stuttering. I just want to do this one take, one cut. Don't feel like editing and just want to get this out there because I have a lot going on. So to kick things off with James Rule XRP, just showing this. So again, Juniper sharing the top 10 fintech, again, financial technology trends in 2020. Now, feel free to basically skim through this, but again, basically number one is blockchain will disrupt international money transfer. So we have some big names in here, but specifically for blockchain, we see Visa, IBM, and Ripple. So again, we know Visa with B2B Connect, and yes, we will be talking about their recent developments with one of RippleNet's biggest partners. Okay, we can talk about blockchain WorldWire and IBM specifically. We understand their connections with Stellar and Lumens, and then Ripple with RippleNet. Okay, so essentially just kind of wanted to give a shout out and kind of show this with Juniper Research. You guys can go through this document as well, and I did retweet it. And again, you can find James Rule XRP on Twitter as Rule XRP. So next up, I am Legion showing Visa Direct. So as we can see here, guys, RippleNet partner BBVA, one of the biggest banks in the world, has a new platform that helps firms moving money in real time. Notice the same talking points as always. So late 2018, and this is a new article that came out hours ago, but again, launched in 2018. BVA Open Banking is a platform that uses APIs to let firms offer their customers financial products without having to take on full banking themselves. Notice that type of decentralized model, again, working together. Notice this sounds a lot like RippleNet, not financial advice, just sharing. Notice customers taking advantage of this, of Visa Direct specifically, will allow through a single integration with the platform's Move Money API, just one API integration, offer their customers frictionless real-time payments to and from eligible debit cards. All right, API provides a single unified service that supports ACH, digital pay, and real-time push and pull payments to and from debit and prepaid cards through a single endpoint. We've seen the documentation. You understand that MoneyGram's partnering with Uber. Notice that with Ripple documents in the past as well, we have Amazon, listed in actual infographics, and Uber. Now keep in mind, as far as I know with the law, they need permission from Amazon to be able to do that. So it's not much conspiracy to think that, yes, they've been working together. There's key players. They have the biggest names in business together. So don't be surprised if Amazon and Uber are working directly or indirectly with Ripple in due time. Maybe it is only for messaging right now. Maybe they are still in trial, but we know that the biggest central banks in the world have been trialing since at least 2016. The DTCC, we have massive groups trialing all kinds of DLT. And obviously, Ripple is one of the biggest private fintech groups that utilizes and has built DLT from the ground up. All right, just connect the dots. To me, it's just basic deductive reasoning. Now, I'm not going to say this is going to moon the XRP price tomorrow. I'm just saying, from a fundamental perspective, look at what is being built in front of your eyes. If you had to pick a few crypto projects or diversify between precious metals and maybe 20 cryptos or 10 cryptos or 5 cryptos, I'm just saying XRP would be a no-brainer to put in my portfolio. And of course, you can hedge your bet. But if you guys don't see it, I don't know what to tell you. We are early in this game. All right. I do expect to see some big moves by end of year. But if that does not pan out, that is fine. I'm willing to wait because with these types of investments, we understand how volatile they are. We understand how much life-changing money is in the opportunities while investing in these new technologies. All right. At the end of the day, you have to do what's right for you. Don't overinvest. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but, just kind of use some common sense here, guys, because I feel like a lot of people are being really emotional online, kind of getting a little toxic and upset. And that just goes to show that, one, they're either tight for money, they don't know how to make money, or they were really hoping that this pans out right now. And I do believe it's going to pan out entirely. I have some massive expectations. I guarantee that my expectations are bigger than yours. I am an absolute bull in this community from who I talk to and what I see on a daily basis. All right. So again, showing that, and then keep in mind, even I Am Legion showing the string back in 2019, I think. Yep, December 2019. We have MoneyGram again, Ripple partner expands their cross-border P2P service with Visa Direct. So it's never ending. You can connect the dots here. So they can also work through that avenue. All right. And notice Ripple just showing kind of a list of some of their partners. And we have BBVA right there as well. Notice even DLocal, DLocal, they're already integrated with Alipay, the biggest mobile network in the world. It's all right in front of you. All right. UBS again, and they're working on their own intranet with, the utility settlement token. We have Standard Chartered with even Access. Their types of platforms, they're all connected to the behemoths in this game, whether it's a mobile network, whether it's banking platforms, or even financial institutions and their types of platforms. It's happening right in front of us. Now I understand the price is frustrating. All I'm saying is my faith in this digital asset ecosystem, even the appreciation of these digital assets that I'm investing in, it's not wavering. I'm simply telling myself these are not the true prices. This is manipulation. We are not even seeing utility, and it is a free for all right now. All right. Keep healthy expectations, guys. All right, now what I do want to address as well that is really, really important, let me see if I can find it, is this video is really good, shared by Bashi Crypto. And essentially, guys, what I wanted to talk about and what I mentioned yesterday, remember, in the months ahead, we're going to hear more and more about these developments with the BRICS nations, BRICS. It's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Okay, so these developments are coming. Obviously, they're straying away from the US dollar. They don't want these denominations in the US dollar. This could affect the US dollar. We already saw the petrodollar status die essentially when we saw literally oil go negative substantially. All right. So again, we're going to see mainstream media talking more and more about this as time goes on. I know there's tons of things happening globally, but you're going to start seeing this narrative. You're going to see this fear that China is ahead of the United States in developments in tokenization and cryptocurrency and all of these plans. And you have to kind of question this, because if you watched that 1 hour video that the World Economic Forum did, again, the 1% of the 1% talking about this plan to level the playing field, everybody is starting from square one, financial inclusion, equality for all. Just remember and look at what kind of narratives you're being sold. All right. And if you don't agree with me, that is fine, but defend it and I'll defend my point of view as well. Because what I believe is, as in this video says, okay, China, everyone thinks China's ahead. Actually, they don't even have the infrastructure that the United States has to send trillions of dollars. That's what they're doing today. They're trying to do that. Watch this 20-minute video. Highly, highly recommend it. All right. I think it's just the perfect setup, guys. I think there's a lot more going on. And I think the illusion that the United States is behind is exactly the helpful push that allows and kind of helps the citizens, or manipulates the citizens, to finally kind of join and push this narrative as well. Again, I just want to ask some basic questions. Do you really think that the United States is repeating this crisis, which is easily worse than what we faced in 2008, all over again with no end game in sight? Whatever you want to believe, I think that there's been, some type of high level plan at least, and we will see how the year 2020 ends, because we are only halfway done and it's been one crazy ride thus far. Just understand that fear to compete with China is going to be that perfect excuse to go digital. In my opinion, China's not ahead. I understand they're doing their soft rollout with the DCEP, their digital currency electronic payment protocol. They're going through this. I've done the research, I promise. I'm just saying, I think the US can do that and roll out quickly as well. And I think that other nations are working on the same thing throughout the European Union. Just pay attention to what is occurring, okay? This is much bigger. Central banks have been accumulating record levels of gold. The price that you see for gold per ounce is not going to be the price that we're going to see in the future. I believe that, of course, they're exploring various price sets for gold. I don't think, now, I'm not even going to say, I'm not going to speculate with that. I'm just talking about the metals market right now, okay? I'm excluding crypto. I'm just talking about the price set for gold, which has happened in the past. We will see. I think that there will be some type of new system, and I do think that digital assets will be a fundamental part of this. All right. People are freaking out about the MoneyGram information and, Ripple and rolling back on demand liquidity volume. And again, even Lionel on Twitter, I saw him talking, we know that, MGI was kind of using XRP for treasury functions and, more so like Nostro Vostro for their business. But it seems like they are moving a lot more to, or trying to push them to use XRP for the P2P live transactions. And they're not trying to focus on that Nostro Vostro money for MoneyGram. Okay. And also, Lionel even pointed out MoneyGram can now do those transfers directly to people's bank accounts, which we have talked about when that news came out as well. You have to connect these dots. All right. I'm just trying to think where I want to go here. There's just so much occurring, guys. Just please keep an open mind. You don't have to believe me, but if it does happen the way I said, just remember we were talking about it here, and don't be surprised, okay? There's so many ways it's going to end up, and I know I'm not going to be right 100%, but as long as I'm right about metals and crypto assets having price appreciation in the future, I'm going to be a happy camper, and I'm sure you guys will be as well. All right, so pay attention to this. This is really cool. Some screenshots shared by boy_XRP. So we got know what's coming. Again, it kind of does seem like Ripple XRP for anyone that talks about Ripple being the private company in the U.S., one of the highest valued companies to date that is kept low key, has some of the biggest players in the game. If you guys have seen the recent news about standard custody and PolySign, seeing who's behind it and pushing it, and it's very, very low key and under wraps for institutional guys. Just pay attention to that. So right here, reading this, maintaining U.S. leverage. Check this out, and I know I'm going to read it verbatim, but check it. To put it bluntly, a blockchain-based clearing mechanism that enables trade between foreign countries without financial transactions touching the dollar would likely undermine the U.S. leverage if the technology were developed and operated by a foreign company. Okay, well, luckily Ripple's kind of, obviously not foreign, it's domestic, that had no need to adhere to U.S. law. Well, unfortunately and fortunately, Ripple is a U.S. company, and it has to adhere to the compliance, but that also slows down Ripple's potential, but it puts them in a stance of massive power and authority as well. All right, the US would maintain at least some leverage if this technology were developed or operated by a US company obliged to adhere to US sanctions, technology export restrictions, and other relevant laws, or a foreign company with significant US exposure. Interesting. There are some signs that large US and global firms will play a larger role in financial technology developments over the next several years as such technology moves even more mainstream. This is good news for US, and I agree. I think the appearance of being behind is exactly what they want to kind of show. Now, David Schwartz, CTO of Ripple again. This is in 2018. I just want to read this very bottom part. I think being domiciled, or again, housed based out of the US for Ripple, being a real company, being so determined to comply with the law and do things the right way has had huge benefits for Ripple. But it's also easy to point to things we didn't do or didn't do as quickly as we might have liked because of this. Sorry if I'm reading slow. The font is like minuscule. The same tension continues inside the company to this day. We do take compliance very, very seriously and strongly resist doing things that might create new regulatory compliance issues for us. Okay? And then right here, even CNAS, again, just showing more pictures and screenshots, economic dominance, financial tech, the future of U.S. economic coercion, and then some additional information about energy, economics, and security programs. But I thought that was really, really interesting and wanted to touch on that. So thank you, sir. Very, very cool. All right, let's keep going. I'm going to start right here and we'll finish things up. But again, guys, we know Naveen Gupta of Ripple confirms that, yes, there are roughly 350 direct actual partners of Ripple and RippleNet. So don't be surprised by that. It does say it in this video at the 6-minute mark, so don't be surprised. Now, keep in mind, and I say this in every video, but I repeat it for the newcomers on this channel, you have to understand there's many more partners. You have to look at the partners of partners. For example, if RippleNet was integrated in Visa Direct, if it was integrated with Finastra's Pay Plus platform, I mean, you were touching thousands upon thousands of participants and ecosystems and networks right there. So you can realize how fast this can quickly move. And if you do follow Pareto's law, the 80-20 principle, you realize you don't need as much, as you think, and how the snowball can really roll down the hill and gain some momentum. I mean, look at this. I do like this little integration that XRParcade.com has, because now you have Binance right here, the little widget, and you can buy cryptocurrency. We're going to see this, in everyday life on, some of the mainstream websites as well. Perhaps even, Yahoo and things of that nature when you are checking your price points. So it is simply a matter of time. Remember, Finastra, for example, 9,000 customers or partners, I should say, right there for RippleNet, and they're Ripple enabled. And yes, RippleNet is already enabled for their biggest payment platform that is going to be used at scale in the near future. We know they're connected to Temenos. That's 3,000 partners. I mean, MoneyGram alone, obviously, it's relatively low value, but that's a behemoth right there. We know that Ripple's partners with Bank of America. We know they've done multiple trials with Western Union. I mean, just go back years ago as well, not just the actual FUD that was propagating, but kind of go a year after that as well. I think Mr. BXRP covered that as well. When Western Union says, oh, we didn't notice any price savings for XRP, they only did 10 transactions. When you take this technology and use it at scale for the thousands and hundreds of thousands of transactions you're sending, 40, 60% savings, I think that's pretty significant. Okay. All right, now right here, I just wanted to read a few things from David Short, CTO of Ripple, just to keep this in mind, guys. Just a few brief things. I think that so long as there are no particular obstacles to doing so, people will want to hold, and again referring to XRP, until they are ready to trade the same asset that they can most easily trade. More importantly, if you want to be opportunistic, you'll want to hold the asset people most need. Again, referencing, you want to hold the asset that is the bridge asset of all assets that interoperate. And especially if you hold a lot of XRP or just hold long term, you're not going to have to pay two spreads. If you're holding the US dollar, you're going to have to convert it to XRP. There's going to be a spread fee or, kind of conversion rate. Then you're going to have to turn that XRP back to euro. But if you're holding XRP, you simply just have to do one spread. You're getting away with so much. And this is why it's very likely in the future, per regulatory hurdles and everything works out, because keep in mind, don't be sold the FUD of XRP as a security. That is a complete joke and distraction to me for many, many reasons, and we've talked about it. And again, people are gonna not touch XRP because it might be a security. Guys, the risk is where the money's made. That uncertainty is exactly what scares the sheep and the retail investors away, and that's why I'm capitalizing on that. Okay. So again, more importantly, you're gonna want to be opportunistic. You'll want to hold the asset people most need. Say you have a bunch of value that you want to make a profit with. You want to hold some asset other people will need to buy in exchange for a number of other assets, so you can opportunistically take the best offer. If XRP settles payments, those that don't hold it will. And they need to buy it to make payments, meaning those who hold it can sell it to them. Exactly. Just wanted to share that. I feel like I kind of already said that, or I've mentioned that in previous videos, but I always value David Schwartz. He arguably is one of the smartest people on the planet. Okay, just brief. Matthew Liny, overview of central bank digital currency, state of play, June 2020. We can see a few players here. R3 Corda, again, XRP enabled, got Bank of Canada. And notice, essentially, Royal Bank of Canada, all the banks in Canada essentially are already just Ripple enabled, so don't be surprised. ECB, no surprise. Again, our favorite lady, not Christine Georgieva of the IMF, but I'm talking about Christine Lagarde, excuse me. Kristalina Georgieva is the director of the International Monetary Fund now. And I highly recommend watching that World Economic Forum video, guys. There's a lot of good information there. Monetary Authority of Singapore, again, they've even allowed, just like the video I showed you earlier, Ripple and all of them different exemptions in Singapore is an absolute hotbed for innovation and financial technology and all things tokenized and digital assets. Hong Kong Monetary Authority in this document, remember, Brad Garlinghouse side by side with that gentleman as well. With the high tiered individuals, we know he's met with Bank of International Settlements, people at the World Bank. The World Bank's actually quoted and praised XRapid, or on-demand liquidity, when it was called that, so which is exclusively the use of XRP. Bank of Thailand. Remember, some of these groups in Southeast Asia and Thailand and all these other groups, they've already classified, cryptocurrencies. What are commodities and securities? XRP is, even if you want to call it a security, if it was early on, it's not going to affect us, because I believe that it will be classified thanks to its practices becoming more and more distributed, and its validators and its consensus and the holdings are becoming distributed. It will be classified as a commodity per the CFTC chairman. He said even if it had security like practices early on, they can kind of give them a little hit and give them a little fine. Big deal. That's just the company Ripple that faces that, not me. And then it becomes a commodity. It's black or white, guys. I think it's going to be a commodity type of utility token, as I say in every video. So again, Matthew Liny just sharing this, and I wanted to show you. If you guys want to screenshot this, I'll feel free to. Again, it's just the overview showing these groups. Again, People's Bank of China, remember, the digital currency. Okay, that's not a threat to the US dollar. They're working on building infrastructure for China. Watch the Asian Investment Infrastructure Bank. Watch the Asian Development Bank. Watch and see if HSBC has a role, again, another RippleNet partner, to help them, because we want financial inclusion and equality for all. So maybe this idea of separation and competition between countries is exactly what we need, so that everybody can kind of work together. All right, maybe that's too much logic or too conspiratorial for you guys, but time will tell. Okay, you don't have to agree with me. I just want to kind of give you my true thoughts on the matter. Okay, all right. Rick's Bank, I can't pronounce it correctly, but again, we can tie them directly to Ripple as well. Neverending Bank of England, yes, they've trialed Interledger Protocol and XRP. Central Bank of Bahamas, remember, these guys are really going towards central bank piloting and central bank digital currencies. And then another group I want you guys to pay attention to. It's a really small group, but it's the Marshall Islands. And remember, they're actually building their CBDC on Algorand. Algo is on Binance US as well. Those links are in the video description. All right. Next. Oh, look at this. Not Marshall Islands, but synchronicity. XRP Crypto Wolf. U.S. Marshal Service wants to hire a company to help it manage, custody, and sell the cryptocurrency holdings it seizes. Well, that's a little scary, but just wanted to show you that development. I'm not going to get into that article right now. It's on theblockcrypto.com. I do like that website, though. Always reliable, in my opinion. But again, guys, just wanted to get a little information out there for today. Keep yourself busy. Stay away from the charts. If you want to dollar cost average into some assets and blanket them, and when one goes up, you can swing trade. That's only after you get your long-term holdings set. And again, do not leave the bulk of your money on exchanges. You can do free, cold paper wallets. You can buy a Ledger Nano. Do what's right for you. Question everything. Continue to do your own research. You don't have to agree with me. That is completely fine. We can, agree to disagree and see how this plays out. Bottom line is, though, I'm sure if you're watching this video, we can agree that we are excited for the future and we do believe in upside. Some people are believing in, thousands of % returns, such as myself, which I absolutely don't need that, but I do believe it based off of the sheer volume and money and everything and the need and the pain points and friction in the current economy that I'm seeing. All right. Or you guys can say, oh yeah, this might be, a trend, but it's not going to be a fad if you understand what DLT and the implications it has for the internet of value, and then how that can kind of create another Cambrian explosion into storage, the internet of things like IoT trends. You just have to watch. Everything's going to be digitized. It already is becoming tokenized. We live our life on our phones and on computers and through applications. Most of our life is already in virtual reality, at least our attention span. You have to pay attention to these trends to capitalize, guys. It's simply a matter of time. And I honestly do enjoy putting out these videos because as I'm just kind of spitballing this information, it's helping me kind of draw my own conclusions as well. Later in the day, I'll be thinking about it. And then I also get to talk to some really, really great people in this community that help me learn as well. So thank you guys for everyone that sends me good information on Twitter. We are one step closer, 6 months left for 2020, the year of the digital asset. With that, guys, I appreciate it. Be sure to like this video, and I will see you in the next one.